Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. It's YouTube's greatest travesty, and today I am putting up another video as coach of the Carolina Cast Forms, and we are in the finals. This is our final matchup. We are against the Denver Blitzles. This is against a good friend of mine, the real Judy, and honestly, he is one of the scariest coaches out there for the fact of the matter is I always have a hard time facing him. And he's really good at the game. So, yeah, he's really good and all that good stuff. And he's also, fun fact, if you guys weren't paying attention to Season 1, he's the Season 1 champion trying to make a run at a second straight season. He's trying to just show up as the Titan, basically, of the group. But we're here to challenge him. We are at the doorsteps of his throne. We see the trophy, we see the crown, and we are going for it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and run through the team here. Oh, before I do that, hit up that like button already if you are proud of the Carolina Cast Forms. From going from Season 1 not being really a contender of anything to Season 2 on the doorsteps, knocking on the door to your own crown. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this battle. I'm going to go ahead and explain why I brought the mons that I brought. I brought Mega Metagross. This is actually a jolly set to outspeed Typhlosion. I can outspeed Typhlosion with the investments that I have, and then the rest is Matt's attack and HP, with the rest of the investment in HP. Then we've got Weavile. This thing is literally just fast enough to outspeed Typhlosion as well. It's adamant and is also choice banded. Then we got Druddigon. I decided defensive Druddigon was the best route to go. I actually debated on what kind of Druddigon set I wanted to bring. And I remembered our battle last time, and Druddigon didn't really wall too much. However, Druddigon can fight Fortress one-on-one because of the fact that it does have Fire Punch. And Gyro Ball does nothing. It does literally nothing to Druddigon, and it actually hurts him more than it hurts me. So I was thinking about it, and I was just like, defensive Druddigon is still the way to go against this team. Fortunately, I don't get to use offensive Druddigon, but his team just doesn't allow it because his team is slow, but they hit hard, and unfortunately, Druddigon's slower and will die to quite a few things that he has. So I decided defensive Druddigon will be the way to go. I also brought... everybody's been afraid of Crocoon, and I actually brought Choice Specs Suicune. This thing is Extrasensory, Scald, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam. And it has just enough speed investment to actually be able to outspeed Hatsurus. Because I felt like if he's bringing Nidoking, he's bringing Scarf King. Then we got Tornadus T. This is actually a Scarf set. I found no reason not to bring Scarf Tornadus again. A standard set. I actually didn't bring Heat Wave on it because Air Slash is a 2-hit KO on Fortress anyways. So I didn't bring Heat Wave just because Air Slash is more accurate. It's also modest too. And like I said, it's Scarfed and it has just enough speed to be able to outspeed everything on his team. And it also has, it has Dark Pulse over Heat Wave just to be able to do a bit more damage on Slowbro when it comes in. And then we've got our Clefairy, which is actually rocking a berry to half poison damage. It's also rocking Psychic. It's a little bit more offensive. It's more so that way I can put out decent damage on Nidoking and Venusaur to put it on range so other mons. Clefable's actually more than likely going to be a sacrifice in this game. And that's kind of what I built it up to be more of the mon that puts out the damage that I need to make it so I can OHKO with another, well, I guess it's not really an OHKO, but be able to beat out one of his other mons because those mons are threats. It also has T-Bolt as well, so it can fight Slowbro and it's unaware, so if he sets up with anything, I don't have to worry. But without further ado, we're going to look at the makeup of his team. He actually brought Slowbro. Now, I don't know if this thing is the setup variant. If it is set up, then I will be pretty annoyed, honestly. But at the same time, I do have Weavile and it's Choice Banded, so I'm not too concerned because I do know that Choice Banded Weavile can kill this thing after rocks. Nidoking, which is, like I said, as I was just talking about the team, I do believe this thing has to be Scarfed because it outspeeds Metagross and really hurts my team. And also, Tornadus T can't OHKO Nidoking, I do not believe. So I can't really do anything like that. I just have to get it in range for Choice Banded Ice Shard to kill it, and I should be good. So rocks are pretty pivotal already. Next is Swellow. I actually was not expecting Swellow at all. I really was not expecting him to bring Swellow, which it is a problem no matter what, looking at his team, because my defensive Mon is Druddigon, and then Metagross has some defensive stats and Suicune some bulk, but a Facade from a Guts Swellow is going to make me cry. Granbull, this is definitely his just Intimidate switcher, probably Heal Bell just to make sure I don't put Toxics onto his Slowbro, which I actually don't think I brought Toxic on anything because he has 3 immunities that he could bring, and they're very popular for him to bring. Nidoking being a Mon that I definitely see him bringing. Venusaur, another Mon I can see him bringing. And Fortress, a Mon that I feel like he is almost guaranteed to bring. So, yeah, that I just felt like he might be Heal Bell. I don't think it's the craziest good thing for him just because he has 3 immunities on his team, but it does keep Slowbro healthy, and that's pretty good. And this thing also is a good Thunder Waver and stuff like that, which is pretty hard against my team because Thunder Wave hurts. Fortress, I'm expecting this thing to be a standard spinner. I'm not afraid of Kustop Berry. So there's that. And then he's got Mega Venusaur, which I'm assuming is the defensive set to hurt me. And he probably has Sleep Powder, which is going to make me cry. So without further ado, guys, let's start the finals of the Pokemon Invitational Cup battle. So I'm actually going to lead off with Suicune because Suicune actually has the best matchup. Any Mon that he leads here is outsped by Suicune, except for Swellow. But I do not see lead Swellow being a thing. Now, he could lead and go Protect and stuff like that, but I could be the defensive variant, and he could find himself in a really bad situation where I Calm Mind up, and then something takes a lot of damage. He does not want Suicune to go ahead and start getting early setups, just because Suicune can tank a hit from a Scarf Nidoking and kill it. And then if this ain't Granbull's defensive, it will die. I do have extra sensory on this thing, and he does know that was a move I brought in the last battle, so he knows that will hurt the Mega Venusaur. And honestly, it would just be really catastrophic for him. So I'm going to lead off with it, just because, like I said, it outspeeds everything on his team, bar the Nidoking and Swellow. And honestly, I can fire off a free Shadow Ball. If he decides to sit in and take it, it will do over half HP. Like, if he sets up Thunder Waves, Toxics, any of that, this thing is crippled to the point that it has to switch out no matter what, because he cannot lose this thing. So we're going to continue on throughout the battle. He's going to go out into Venusaur, and I am completely fine with that because I get a good Shadow Ball off, and that does actually a good chunk of damage. Now, I make a mistake here thinking that he'll play offensively as he just goes for the Sleep Powder. Now, I should have saw that coming. I decide that I'm going to just Mega Evolve and burn one turn, as I do not know what set this thing is. So I'm actually going to go ahead and switch out and go out into Druddigon, because Druddigon does have Fire Punch. And he's going to set up his routes. I'm going to set up my routes because I feel like he's going to switch, and he sets up a Reflect. Okay. At this point in time, I freaking panic. I hit the panic button really hard here, because now it just dawned on me this is Light Clay dual screens. And this makes the offensive pressure that my team have completely gone. So Fortress just became a threat that I need out of the game, no matter what. This thing cannot stay in this game. So right now he's shown Stealth Rock, he's shown Reflect, and I'm expecting Light Screen. Now, if he has Rapid Spin, this means this Mon is nothing but a screen setter. It's a pure screen setter. If it has anything else, it would be Explosion, Volt Switch, or Gyro Ball. So I'm going to throw out a Toxic, predicting for him to try and switch out into Slowbro, but he actually goes ahead and sets up a Light Screen. He's on Volt Switch here, which I'm completely fine with. He goes out into Mega Venusaur, and this is actually pivotal because I Roar here. I decided against bringing Dragon Tail because I felt like Granbull was almost guaranteed to come. And with Granbull coming in, Dragon Tail loses its effectiveness immediately because he can just switch into Granbull. So if War, while I don't get the chip damage, it is 100% accurate, and I can phase people out very successfully with it. So yeah, I actually get very lucky here and push him out into Swallow. So he takes rocks damage automatically from this thing. Unfortunately, he does go ahead and get his Toxic boost, but now he's going to go out into his Granbull. He's going to get the Intimidate off on me, but I do get to roar again, and he actually goes right back out into his Swallow. And this is actually really bad for him because now this thing is taking so much damage, he has to attack. And I am Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, so that's a guaranteed 25% that's going to hit him. I roar him out again, and now he goes right back out into Granbull. My best play here is actually just to stay in. I'm going to Toxic him, just that way I can get the Toxic off. Play Rough is going to kill, but he's going to take a lot of chip damage, and the fact that he has Toxic on him really hurts him in the long run of the game. So now I'm going to go out into Tornadus because I am packing the Sludge Wave, and I do know that I have to go for something, anything. So I actually go for the Sludge Wave here. I'm Scarfed, and unfortunately he does make the smart move and go for the Swallow. Good sacrifice on his part, and now he gets a free switch into Nidoking because he can just do things to me. So he's going to Sludge Wave. I'm going to eat my Kabaya Berry, and there goes the Reflect. I'm going to go ahead and switch out again, predicting for him to still be Scarfed. Sludge Wave does not affect me. I get to burn Eternal Sleep regardless, no matter what, right now. As he's going to go out into his fortress, all of his screens are gone. I get to wake up, and I get a Meteor Mash, and I get the Attack Raise, which is pretty big. So I can go for another Meteor Mash here and probably just about kill this thing. Unfortunately, I miss. So I go for a Zen Headbutt, saying, okay, I'll just flinch him to death. And you know what? I flinch him to death. When I say I'm going to flinch somebody to death, guys, I flinch him to death. I go for another Zen Headbutt, and unfortunately I do not get this freaking second one, which is unfortunate. Now he goes out into this thing, and I'm just like, oh god, this thing's out here. So I need to switch out because this thing is either going to Shadow Ball or it's going to T-Wave me. And he T-Waves, which I'm glad I switched out into Clefable right now. Now he's going to go ahead and switch out into Nidoking, and I actually make the play of going for the offensive move and Psychicking. If he did not have Light Screen up right there, that probably would have crippled Nidoking past the point of repair. Now, I am Para here. Scald is going to hit me. It only does 18%, so I am able to Moonlight and get some HP back. And Nets, the Reflect does wear out. He's going to switch out into his Mega Venusaur. And I get the Thunderbolt off, which I'm completely fine with. He goes for the Sludge Bomb. I live it because of my Spidef investment. I go for the Psychic, and it makes me so sad because if that Light Screen wasn't there, I actually think I would have killed this Venusaur with Clefable. So Fortress definitely putting in the work. I'm now down 2 Mons in comparison to his 1. But I have crippled a couple of his Mons. I go for Air Slash here because it's the safer play out of all of them. And at this point in time, we're even up. I'm trying to figure out what my win con is right now. Fortress is gone, so that's a big burden off. And I'm actually very happy about that because with Fortress being gone, I am able to do so much more. And I'm looking at his team, and I'm trying to decide what the best play is to do. So I'm looking at this thing, and I know it's probably going to tank up whatever move I go for. So I'm actually going to switch out into Suicune because I actually don't mind Suicune getting T-Waved, as that is what he goes for. And now he could Calm Mind here, but he's going to go for Scald. Now with him Scalding right here, he's revealed his moveset to be T-Wave Scald. I'm starting to think that he might be the Slack Off variant and be packing Shadow Ball to be able to 1v1 Metagross. I'm going to go for the Extra Sentry. I actually made the prediction there. That was the whole point of it. As I am going to switch out into Tornadus, and I guess he figured out that I was Specs, and unfortunately he does T-Wave me, and I cannot move. So he's going to Ice Beam me, and he reveals that he actually is packing Ice Beam, which actually surprised me. I'm going to Air Slash, get the flinch. This is going to actually force him out no matter what because he cannot take another one. And he's going to Intimidate me, of course, so dreadful. And I'm paralyzed. Yay, paralyzed. I am going to get some toxic damage off onto this thing, though. He is faster than me because of, para things. But right now, I have a good amount of damage put out. I figured out that the best play right now is to actually go out in the Suicune because I can tank one hit and kill something. And I didn't want to risk things on Mega Metagross coming out and having to Meteor Mash something. This actually calls for him to go out into his Venusaur as he Giga Drains here, which is reveals to me that I don't think he has Synthesis, because Shadow Ball would definitely not have killed. I go into Mega Metagross here, and I get to Zen Headbutt. Now this is where it gets important. With him being Scarf Nidoking, he's going to switch out, and Earth Power is going to 100% kill Mega Metagross. And then on entry, Weavile is going to actually take a lot of damage due to its typing, of course. And depending on his spread and stuff like that, it changes my chances of living. However, what he doesn't know is all the rest of my EVs, I put in Spadef. So Weavile actually has the chance to live, has a good chance of living with quite a bit of HP. So Earth Power is going to go through. I'm completely fine with that as I get to go out into Weavile here. Weavile has to come through at this point, guys. If I don't live this due to my Spadef investment, I lose the game. It's just that simple. I have to be able to live a stab Earth Power. And this thing could be modest. So, as we continue, he hits me with an Earth Power, and I actually live it on 6. I lock myself in the knockoff because it is literally the best move I can use. He goes out into Slowbro now. Now, I did the calcs on this, and you guys can do the calcs as well. I'm adamant Weavile versus a defensive Slowbro. This thing is defensive based off of damage. Knockoff hits. He eats his Colbur Berry. But unfortunately for him, I critted. Weavile showed up to be the MVP. And with that, guys, please welcome your Carolina Castforms, your new Pokemon Invitational Cup champions. Oh, man. It feels so good. Like, not only did I start off this season so bad, just to give you guys some retrospect, I got 6-0'd in my very first battle of the season. And it feels so good to go from being 6-0'd your very first match to having probably the toughest match I've ever had to win the finals and become the new champion. I even got to get my revenge match against Josh, the person who 6-0'd me, in the semis. And it's just a great feeling, and honestly, I couldn't be more happier that everything turned out as it did. Thank you so much to Real Judy for being a great friend and a great champion, honestly. And no matter what, nobody can ever take away that trophy. So, no matter what, Real Judy's always going to be the Season 1 champion. But just like that, I just entered my name in the Hall of Fame. I've got my crown on now. It's time. Carolina Castforms are now the new champion. That feels so good to say. It feels so good to say that I've won this league. Pokemon Invitational Cup is such an important league for me, and it's the most important league for me, and I really enjoy working here. I want to give a shout out to everybody who participated in the league. Like Potato Jim, thank you so much. You never give me any praise for winning. You always I win a battle and you're just like Metagross. You just say that, and I do appreciate it though. You're a great friend, and you definitely played well. It's unfortunately how the season went for you, but you're a great friend, and I hope to see you actually return to the playoffs in the next season. Carson, same thing goes for you. You're always that little asshole, but love battling you, and you're always a good friend. You always give good advice, it seems like, and you're always there for the Pokemon Invitational Cup when it needs it. So I do really appreciate you as well. Of course, Real Judy, thank you so much for being a great battler and a great friend. You're always a roadblock, it feels like, for me, because I feel like if I win against you, I barely win every single time, and you terrify me. But you always make me a better battler with every match that we have, so I definitely appreciate that. Shout out to Nate Dogg Plays for, even though you had a really bad start to the season, you actually never gave up, and I really do respect that. Even winning a match with a 6-0 and then having one hell of a match against me that I was definitely very happy that we had. So definitely shout out to you, man. You've grown so much over the course of the season. Rosebud's a Sled for always being able to make puns with me inside the chat room and freaking just being so chill. Me and him had a weird match, I would definitely say, but he's a great friend, and he's just a very cool person that I'm able to hang out with and be very chill with. Thank you to Dan for having me yet again for Season 2, especially after my less than stellar Season 1. And yeah, it's just, ugh. But thank you again, man, and you're always been cool to talk to, and you've been a great friend. Crimson Seabat, I know I never got to battle you, but you were a part of the Pokemon Invitational Cup, and I was so excited to be able to battle you. I hope I get to battle you in the future. But yeah, dude, shout out to you for bringing Crimson City to the Pokemon Invitational Cup. I believe I named everybody. Oh, no, I did not. How could I forget the man who 6-0'd me? Josh, forever, you're going to be the guy that 6-0'd me, so nobody can take that away from you. And I hope to see you in Season 3, man, because you brought so much different stuff. Like, Expert Built Garchomp was so cool for me to see in the season, because I dump on Garchomp for not being that good in draft format. But, man, you freaking brought EB freaking Garchomp, and that was just a cool moment for me in general. I believe that is everyone, though. Oh, no, it's not. I keep forgetting people. Guan, I didn't get to talk to you too much, but you gave me plenty of ammunition because of your name being Guan for me to say you are the only Guan. But you are the only one for me. But seriously, you were one of two people that beat me. I was scared to fight you in playoffs, and for sure, like, you played really well throughout the season. Especially the first half of the season. You just played really well. But, yeah, that's enough of me sucking up to all the coaches. There is one other person that I do want to go ahead and thank. Burke, thank you so much for doing the power rankings. I loved watching your power rankings, dude, so please, I hope to see more power rankings from you in the future for different leagues and for Pokemon Invitational Cup. Because even though I was winning matches, you were taking a dump on me for not bringing certain moves, and I love that because it continued to motivate me, and it continued to push me to continue thinking different ways about battles, and continue to not bring Thunder Punch on Metagross. So I do appreciate you for all the hard work that you do. It's always very informative to actually watch your videos. And without that, I want to give a shout out to all the fans that believed in me, and a big shout out to Bulky Cotton Candy, Ollie, people like that have cheered for me and said, hey, Carolina Cast Farms, you guys are still in this. The people that came out and voted for me on all the Twitter polls, even though I don't think I won a single one, I think every single time, like, I feel like I'm the most hated coach at times. But yeah, I've ran this speech a long way too much, and it's feeling like a speech. I just wanted to say thank you to all you guys, because this Pokemon Invitational Cup wins so much for me, and I really am just so happy, and words cannot express how happy I am to be the new champion here. Thank you guys again for watching. If you enjoyed and did not get tired of my shout outs, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe today to see, hopefully, more Pokemon Invitational Cup content and some more content from me and the Carolina Cast Forms. Thank you guys again for watching. This is your Season 2 Pokemon Invitational Cup champion speaking, and I'm out.